Welcome, my fellow Virgos. Today we are going to do a reading, a very specific reading about your person and about their current feelings. We're going to ask five specific questions. You think I'd know them by now, but their current feelings for you will be one. Number two will be their current view of you. Number three, what actions are they thinking of taking or are going to take? For your current feelings for them, because that's important. And then we will do an overall energy that's supporting this connection. So we're asking deep questions. We want deep answers. This is for anyone. You can be in a relationship, but things could have gone quiet. There could have been a split up. It's who's ever on your mind. Um, but I want you to be realistic too. Like if this is someone who's like definitely said I'm, not interested. This is for those who um I just feel are meant to come together anyway. So, but life does get in the way. So let's go ahead and open up the reading. I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify or go deeper. I am going to use Mother Mary, but I'm going to use Mother Mary at the end of the reading, over the relationship, kind of like a little blessing, not a little blessing, blessing. And then the Cozy Witch Tarot really called out for me for for the question. So let's go ahead and give it a couple shuffles. Everything's pre-shuffled, just so you know. This is for Virgo. I'm a Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Virgo rising. You get a planets inside of Virgo. Something may have just pulled you to this reading, or you're interested in a Virgo, whatever it may be. Just kind of let your emotions go and just be open. Of course, it can't be for everyone, but it could certainly have certain messages in there for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. Let me go ahead and bring this lid down. And we're going to start with their current feelings for you. We have the King of Swords. King of Swords. Well, when I think of the King of Swords, I think of integrity. I think of a good communicator. This person's sitting at their typewriter. You may be a writer, or you may have a lot like in your mind that could, like, I don't know, I feel like they could flow to your fingers, and whether I'm putting it on like through a typewriter or a computer or I'm writing something, I feel like I feel like they feel you're intelligent. You know what I mean? Like you're intelligent. And it's interesting because I feel like, yes, intelligence from book smart, from books, but I also feel like you're spiritually intelligent. I don't know if that's the right word, but maybe that's the word they use. King of Swords can represent Gemini, Libra, or Cancer, or Gemini, Libra, Cancer, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Doesn't have to be though, because I really feel, whether you're a male or a female, I really feel like this is just talking, and I feel like if you're a female, it's talking about that you may be using more of your masculine energy. But there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because we're given both to use both. She's surrounded by books and she's like typing something out. Okay. So let's see what their current view of you is. Look at this, two kings. Now we have the King of Cups. First we have the King of Swords. Now we have the King of Cups. And I really don't feel like it's people. It could be, King of Cups could be a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. But I really feel like it's about, because it's their view of you. Now, if it's a female looking, then I could see the king. Well, it doesn't even matter. I shouldn't even said that because I just feel like it's the energy. What's it say? Always compose yourself before giving a response. Okay. But when I see the King of Cups in a love reading, I think about someone who can give their love. You know, it's interesting because us as Virgos, we can certainly hold back. I also live with a Virgo, and yes, we can hold back our emotions, but we tend to show them more than speak them. Until I feel like we find that like truly special connection. So, anyways, but this makes me feel like their view of you is that you have a very loving heart. I feel like you are someone that, if I was going to come in to the picture today, I feel like you're someone who, like, if I made a commitment to, I feel like I could trust. Hmm. Interesting how they feel they can trust you. And I hope it's the other way around too, but someone could be writing you a letter, sending you a text. They could be reaching out through communication. And what I mean by that is like I hear from them before I see them, they could reply to like one of your social media posts or literally you might get a text. It could be a phone call. But I feel like I'm not seeing any phones, so I feel like it's more like through the line of communication, probably through social media. It's interesting little bird on the windowsill. It's like tweet tweet, and I often represent birds with our spirit guides. So this could certainly be some your spirit guide whispering in your ear. You may feel the communications coming towards you because I do feel it is. All right, let's see. Well, let's see. What current actions are they thinking of taking? We have the Fool. And I have to say, the Fool has shown up. I think you're the sixth sign that I've done, and I would say out of six, it has shown up like four times. So this is their current view of you. Maybe you're free. At one time maybe you were tied to another, and now you may be free. I feel like you definitely the actions they're thinking of taking as the Fool, maybe they're free. Maybe energy has been cleared now, whether it been like a relationship, or I just feel like this communication that's coming toward you, it doesn't feel like it has any strings attached. If that makes sense. Like there's no strings attached here. So I feel like what I'm saying is, as I come toward you, I really mean whatever it is I'm saying. I feel like someone has taken the time, whether they planned it or it was kind of forced, where they did have to eliminate some things in their life. But I feel like they're better for it. They're better because of that. So, I mean, for current actions, I kind of love the fold because to me, it's a little bit of protection for you. It means, again, like there's no strings attached. There's not like I'm not coming towards you, but I'm over here with this person. Maybe I was, but I feel like I'm not any longer. So I feel like they're coming to you free and clear. And I feel like that's important. And I feel like for the majority of you, I feel like you're also free. Now, you could be connected to one of these kings, but I feel like if you are, I feel like your heart lies with this person because this is the person on your mind. All right, well, let's see what your current view of them is. We have, well, Hierophant. I kind of like that. Interesting. I just got done doing Taurus's reading before yours. This is the card of Taurus. It may mean that some of you are connected to a Taurus. Um, it is a five. Interesting because we have the Fool, which is a zero, which really speaks about beginning a new path, a new journey. And then the Hierophant, which is a five, change. So I feel like there has been some change. that is now allowing this energy to, it feels like flow, like more like flow unrestricted. You must have a good view of them. If certainly this could be a Taurus for some of you. But I feel like it's like our morals are more in line now than maybe ever before. All right, let's look at the overall connection that's support or the overall energy that's supporting this connection. We have the Page of Wands. Look what she's surrounded by. Red roses everywhere. Just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean it will be effortless. Well, that would describe love. But I feel like at the same time, like if I'm saying yes to this, or listen, it can be the other way around also. I want you to understand that. It may be you that's reaching out. But the Page of Wands, I call my risk taker. And it's interesting because, I call it my fool. And we have the actual fool here. So I feel like this is saying that potentially, and I know this may not make sense, but I know it. Like I know this energy. I feel like there may have been some breakups or a breakup, but I feel like during that period of time, maybe like now I know because I miss you so much. Now I know that you're my person. Maybe I wasn't sure. And then you think of a page's energy. I often think of younger energy. Maybe I was just less mature at that point. I hate to say immature because I really kind of don't feel that, but I haven't had the growth that I do have now. So I feel like, and I have a feeling both of you have had a lot of growth in your life. But I don't feel like it came easy. It's almost like I had to go through the hermit energy, right? Dark night of the soul to finally see the light. And I feel like, because I do feel like, and it's hard to say, but I feel like sometimes a breakup serves us, because now I know what I don't want, what I do want. And then when we're apart, I can reflect. First, I'm mad, angry, that type of thing. But then as things settle down, and I feel probably on both sides, it's like I start to like analyze it a little bit more, maybe where I'm letting judgment go. I'm not saying that's maybe at both, but that you don't have every right to like you didn't have every right to have that anger. But I feel like you went through it's almost like the moon cycles. And now it's like you're coming back to a full moon. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? All right, well, we have the Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So that tells me that there was some untrustworthy energy. Um, King of Wands underneath that. Look at the kings that we're seeing. What's under the King of Wands? Well, there's the Hermit. There's the Hermit. Some of you, I feel like, because we are doing Virgo, I feel like interesting because then we also have the Five of Wands. Interesting. And then we have the Two Cups. I don't mean to go backwards. And then the Knight of Cups. It's almost like it's buried because it comes at the right time. So I definitely feel like we're talking about a soulmate energy. Of course, I don't know that I'd be doing this reading if it wasn't a soulmate energy. And then we have the Five of Wands. So I almost feel like this broke up and then I may have gotten into another relationship, but I feel like even though this broke up, I feel like someone was my soulmate. Like I feel that clearly, and maybe I had to learn that through other people, because I feel like then we go into the Five of Wands, which is a lot of ego battling type energy, but it feels like it's coming from the King of Wands energy. Now, can be in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but I'm going to put that aside because I feel like it's more aggression. Like somebody may have been like pretty aggressive. And I don't, where did the Hermit come from? I'm not even sure now. I think the Hermit was under the King. So reflection over that period of time that was quite difficult, where there was like a lot of ego, maybe battling type energy. But I do feel like because we're seeing the Hermit and we're doing Virgo's reading, I do feel like eventually you have found that light. You closed a chapter. It is a nine, and a nine is about the final reflection. And I already spoke about the Hermit. So to me, that's just confirmation. But and then, so I feel like there was some aggressive energy and maybe some energy I couldn't trust. And it's interesting how I'm not picking it up as this person, I'm picking it up as another person. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I was in another relationship that was not easy. But maybe my soulmate is really, just like daydreaming and, you know, fantasizing about my soulmate is really what got me through. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take the Gilded Tarot. And what I've been doing is taking one card above each card. But then we'll come and, if we need more, we'll definitely take more. I'm definitely going to take the card up on that Seven of Swords, but we'll do that afterwards. All right. So let's go above the King of Swords, which is their current feelings for you right now. Well, hello, Four of Wands, marriage, commitment, love, love of the highest. How interesting. Two people can certainly break up, but that doesn't mean the love ends. And that's kind of what I feel. I feel like if this is a current relationship, maybe you haven't broken up, but there's no, I feel like if you're in a relationship but things are difficult, I feel like communication is the key here. Communication. But beyond that, this is a beautiful energy of two people really truly making a commitment to each other for the rest of our lives. So, I feel like this is saying that this person's not interested in coming in just for a moment, but for the rest of your lives. This person's ready to make a commitment, I feel. All right, well, let's look at right above their current view of you, which we're getting the King of Cups, the Page of Pentacles. So I already felt that they feel that, intelligent. But I also feel that you're someone who has put a lot of effort into, you know, your financial world, your material world, and I don't mean that in a like, that's all I've done. But it was important. I feel like it was important. Like it's important that I learn and I grow along this journey. Maybe I haven't always thought that, but I feel it now. Interesting, we also have two pages. We have the Page of Wands, and now we have the Page of Cups. So this could certainly talk about the younger energy. Like when I was young, or when let's just say we first met or what have you. You could have been going to school. You could have been in school. You could have met in school. But I feel like you were definitely on this path of, I feel like you knew that you had to have a firm foundation, and I feel like you're a go-getter, but I'm saying that as them. I feel like they feel you're grounded. I feel like you have learned how to maybe express yourself more than ever before. Where before, I feel like maybe as when I was younger, I held that part of myself back. But now I feel like you've evolved and it's like I express myself much easier. All right, let's look at what they're currently are the current actions they're thinking of taking. We have the Fool, and now we have the King of Pentacles. Well, hello, another king. So we've seen all the kings. Now, I do kind of like the King of Pentacles sitting next to the Page of Pentacles, coming over the Fool. And let me tell you why. When I think of the King of Pentacles, there's quite a few things I think when I think of each king. But the King of Pentacles, first of all, this person's able to, when they look at life, they look at it from the big picture, right? It's like now I can see the big picture of it all. But this is also someone in the upright who would be, I feel loyal. I feel like it would be very hard, or it is very hard for Virgo to cheat. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I feel like there's this energy within us that if we do it, like I feel like it would drive us mad in a way. But anyways, I really feel like this is also showing someone's progression. All right. So your current view of them, you got the Hierophant. Well, hello, the world. I'm seeing a lot of synchronicity. Well, it only makes sense that I'd see these synchronicities, right? Um, because I'm doing every sign, and of course you're going to be tied to one sign. So the world's the next chapter. So I almost feel like without question, I'm going to move into this energy. And why? Well, because I feel like someone has evolved. I feel like someone who maybe played in the dark now lives in the light. It also makes, and then you look at this as a five, which is change, right? And then the world right above it, the next chapter, the next chapter. Okay, and then let's look at the overall energy supporting this connection. We have the Six of Swords. So to me, that means it's really important that if we come back together, that we know that we have to put the past in the past. Doesn't mean we haven't learned from it, because in the Six of Swords, you have to look one card back. What are they leaving? What are they leaving? They're leaving toxic energy, toxic people, toxic thoughts, things that held me back, held me down. Six of Swords does talk about temporarily choppy waters, but it's the promise of calmer seas. As long as you're willing to make that movement, then you're going to find those calmer seas. And by the way, it is mirroring the marriage card. All right, and I just want to take one over the Seven of Swords. Look at that, the Tower. Goodbye. Goodbye, Seven of Swords. Now, of course, the Seven of Swords could belong to you or the other person. And it could certainly just mean that, I feel like I'm not getting the feeling of like someone cheated, like literally cheated, Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but I'm not feeling that. But what I am feeling is maybe lies and untruths and that'll drive us mad, right? Like, don't lie to me, because once you lie to me, it's hard for me to believe you. And if I can't believe you, chances are I'm not going to stay with you. At least that's how I feel as a Virgo. Um, truth is everything. Truth is everything. So, whatever happened in that Seven of Swords, it resulted in a tower. But listen, sometimes a tower is our friend. So, yes, it's disruption. It means there is a change. Sometimes we don't ask for that change, but sometimes it's like our spirit guides are like, but trust me, you need this tower. Because as you get through the tower's energy, which might be a little bit of what that the Six of Swords is talking about, as you move through that energy, you're going to start to see how new things open up. I'm thinking of Steve Miller again. Time keeps on ticking, ticking, ticking into the future. And I'm singing that because I feel like we have to learn not to get tied to the past. We got to learn to try to understand it as much as we can. We got to know that we are not perfect. We were born imperfect. So, you know, I certainly can't expect someone to be perfect because I myself cannot be perfect. Doesn't mean I can't be as perfect as I can be. Okay. Is there anything else I want to look at? Um, I mean, it all looks quite good. I'm saying it looks quite good, but I do feel like this is about a journey. This has been a journey. But I feel like the world is so bright here. Like the next chapter. And I like the King of Pentacles next to the world. Not that it has to be an earth sign. Though we do have Taurus down here, and we did see the Hermit, so that could be Virgo, Taurus. But I feel like it's really talking about like-minded energy. It's like now we're on the same page type of thing. All right, I'm going to take Mother Mary over this connection. And what does she want us to know about this love and the journey? Because it is a journey. But listen, you know, it is a journey, but you have some beautiful cards here. I mean, to me, the highest of love is in the Four of Wands. We saw the soulmates right next to your card. So we saw the soulmates, and I feel like we're definitely doing soulmate energy, or even twin flame energy. But so two people who I feel like potentially, if you say yes, or if they say yes, who's ever like the one reaching out, I feel like as long as we're able to, first of all, understand the past as much as we need to, but then let it go. Because I feel like that's the one thing we can't do. We can't have arguments down the road and then bring up that past. We've got to let it go. I want to say unless someone is acting the way they used to, but I don't feel that. I definitely I feel two people. I feel both of you have evolved um greatly. And um I feel you is very stable. Now, I don't mean with love because I feel a little unstable with love, but I feel everything else like I know what I want to create in this world. Okay. Mother Mary, over this beautiful love connection. What words of wisdom do you give them? Well, you got quite a few. But I don't turn down Mother Mary's cards, but let's start with what's face up. So we have mercy. I am kind and thoughtful towards myself and others. Mercy. Then we have inner child. I nurture the child within me through playfulness and self-care. Inner child. And that tells me that chances are this is going to be fun. You know what I mean? Like love, yes. But I also feel like we can have a really good time together. It's almost like we bring out each other's inner child, and that's the energy that we can live through. And it feels very good, like very playful and loving and happy and laughter. Like we make each other laugh. Interesting. Okay. And then we have boundaries. Boundaries. So there's nothing wrong with setting boundaries, and we all should, right? We all have that line in the sand that if someone crosses, it's like, okay, you've gone too far. But boundaries. I am clear and honest with others about my expectations. Well, I feel like that comes through the conversation. That comes through the conversation. And then last but not least, gratitude. So that tells me that these two people, and I'm just saying two people, but I feel it's many people, but I feel like a true sense of gratitude. It's interesting because I could wake up one day and just feel like, oh man, this is just the worst day of my life. And then lo and behold, I get a text, an email, a letter, something, or my phone rings and, it just changes everything. And I know that that happens because it's happened to me. Um, so don't dismiss it. But of course, in the same breath, listen, if this is energy that you're not interested in, first of all, I don't know why you'd be here. I mean, I'm happy you're here, but it may be just other messages you needed to hear. But I definitely feel like this is about two people who, um, you lived in each other's hearts. You live in each other's hearts. But life happened. Life happened. And I feel like, we probably went our separate ways, and then I did my thing, they did their thing. You may have gotten like, because I don't know why I'm not really feeling like the Seven of Swords belongs to this person. Now, for some of you, it could be, but I feel it's more like maybe we broke up, and then I connected with someone else, and they turned out to be what I feel like is an asshole. And so the tower, and I have a feeling if that's the case, you probably gave them the tower or the universe gave the tower, really just to help you, to save you, to keep you moving forward and not backwards with this person. So, and I definitely feel like you're clearing that energy because, that's another thing. If I was dealing with someone who is untrustworthy, it's very hard to then trust, right? But I also want to understand that, you know, because we're seeing different kings, and I feel like because it's different people, and not for all. I just feel like here in this energy, I feel like it does feel like someone different. But what I got to be careful is, and maybe that's why the Six of Swords is saying, clear that energy, not to then bring it into this relationship. That's just good advice for any relationship. Doesn't even have to be this relationship. But, I want to clear the energy of the past. I want to understand it, maybe without judgment as much as possible. I want to understand myself, know myself in love. I got to understand that if I'm not open, and then you know, it's hard for someone else to open up. But, anyways, I feel like ultimately you're going to be in a state of gratitude. And what more could we ask for? Well, we could ask for a true commitment, and here it is. And it is on this next chapter. Now, this next chapter, what does that mean? It is a 23, it is March, or 3 reminds me of March. Um, or I could talk about 3 months. You know what I mean? Talk about 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 hours. in 3 minutes. Your phone's going to ring. Now, if that happens, let me know. Um, but I kind of loved it, Virgo. I feel like, I feel like there's a lot that you can rebound from, but I do feel like at the same time, allow yourself to take some chances, especially as it relates to love. Not all love is going to work out. Doesn't mean that sometimes it doesn't come back around. Again, I feel like there's been great growth on both sides here. So I really have no worry for you over who I feel is coming towards you. I truly have no worry over it. Like and if I did, I'd be like, use your spiritual discernment, which you should use anyways. But ultimately, I feel like this is landing you in the state of gratitude. And that's where I'm going to leave it. I love you guys. I always love doing your readings. And I often relate to them. You know what I mean? Like I often see a lot of my life stories within them. And I feel like the reason why I see it is to let you know, like, how Sam and I met and 40 years between and never expecting it to come together. Now we're in union, like things that you just don't know that are going to happen until it happens. And those that were waiting for that phone call in 3 minutes, well, I felt like those 3 minutes went by. So, anyways, I can't wait to read your comments, truly. Um, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you guys. Thank you. I have so much gratitude for you. Um, I hope you enjoy these readings, and I know it can't be for everyone, but that's why I try to do a lot of them. So, like, let's say this one is not really fitting your energy, well, maybe the next one will. Or I also want to say, don't forget to check out your moon sign because that's really where your emotions lie. That's the inner you, and check out their moon sign. You know what I mean? If nothing else, that'll help bring you more clarity. And these aren't very long, so, these aren't my hour-long ones. Anyways, if I don't stop talking, it will be. I love you. Thank you. And I'll see you next time at our table. Bye-bye, Virgo.